everything happens for a reason. You know, it's a beautiful thing when we understand that our actions create reactions, and this kind of synergy of life itself, this learning experience which we're in, is ultimately here to lead us into a choice. And this choice which we have is ultimately living an expression of growth within this lifetime, learning and understanding that we are here to grow. We are here to learn to accept, learn to raise our frequency in a way that we can learn to be grateful for it. We can learn to understand that this life experience is an experience. It's not a beginning and an end. It's a birth into knowledge, and through knowledge, through realization, through awareness in itself, we can ultimately learn to observe this lifetime. We can learn to separate ourselves from what's happening in this reality, and we can kind of let go and become the observer of this reality. And when we do so, we step back, we stop getting so attached, so involved, and we start to gain control of our emotional awareness. We start to observe what's going on and learn to laugh, learn to free ourselves from the drama of this reality. Because if we're just stuck in this reality, if we're just constantly being bombarded by the actions and reactions of our decision making and criticizing and, judging who we are, what we need to be, where we're going, when we're always stuck in this, this mindset of life, our minds, we just get drawn into this matrix, this simulation. Our energy just goes there. And what's magical is when we can just step back and understand that this lifetime is just an experience. It's just, it is in itself a memory of the past. We are manifesting within this moment. We have the choice to live this life in the present flow, in the quantum infinite realm of infinite possibility. When we can kind of enter that realm, we can understand that there is a difference, there is a choice, and there is ultimately a point where we separate from this bombardment of perception, and within that shift, within that acknowledgement that this life is basically, it's whatever you want to call it. It's a predestined simulation. It's a pre-programmed dream. When we can separate ourselves and start to acknowledge that even if this reality is a pre-programmed dream, is a simulation, it's a destined programmed reality construct, we can kind of acknowledge that there is truth to our existence. There is something that we have chosen, we have given our will to come to learn to accept. And when we do that, we activate ourselves, we come back to the true essence of ourselves, which is choice. And we acknowledge that we, even through this pre-programmed reality, we do have choice within this reality. We do have the power to activate our awareness, to acknowledge the truth, to understand the grand picture, to come back to ourselves, our true self, which is acknowledging that we are the infinite consciousness of infinite possibility. And when we activate within that acknowledgement of the true self, the true I, we break free of this quantum simulation.